Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here. So this video is probably gonna upset a decent chunk of you guys, so I'm sorry for that in advance. So here's an adorable picture of a puppy to get you in a forgiving mood. Everyone who's ever played a Pokemon game has chosen a starter Pokemon. Unless you've only ever played Coliseum or XD, in which case you didn't have a choice, or you just played Pokemon Ranger, in which case you didn't have one at all. Okay. Anybody who's ever played a main series Pokemon game has chosen a starter Pokemon. However, unlike people, not all starter Pokemon are created equal. The greatest Pokemon in the world is a starter Pokemon, but there are quite a few that are nowhere near that. So today, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 worst starter Pokemon. Each number in this list will be an evolutionary line that I'll discuss as a whole, rather than any specific evolution. So as an example, if Sceptile were on this list, which he's obviously not, it would include Treecko, Grovyle, and Sceptile in that one number. Also, I'm not going to talk about the Alola starters since a lot of my discussion is going to be about the evolutions and we don't have their evolutions yet. Also, like I said before, I am going to say some pretty mean things about these Pokemon, so if there's some of your favorites, I am very sorry. These are just my opinions and you're completely entitled to your own. Even if they're wrong. That was a joke. So without further ado, here are the top 5 worst starter Pokemon. Number 5. Meganium. So I don't actually dislike Meganium much at all. It's just that I needed 5 spots on this list and there are only 18 evolutionary lines and I just like all but 4 of them more than Meganium. Meganium is on here mainly because it's just unimpressive. Its design isn't really awful, but it's not really cool either. It's just a long-necked dinosaur with antenna and a flower around its neck. And while I do love long-necked dinosaurs, Tropius just does the whole grass-type long-necked dinosaur thing magnitudes better. I will say that I think Bayleef has the best design of the 3, but Chikorita's is the worst. I really don't like excessive jewelry, and Chikorita's neck spikes look like a tacky necklace. Plus its head leaf looks like a misshapen ponytail. They modified it to look way cooler on Bayleef, but then they replaced it with antenna on Meganium? What? And it doesn't help that it's one of the weakest starters in any of the games, not having a type advantage over any of the Johto gym leaders and just being unimpressive overall. That's pretty much what it comes down to for me. Meganium isn't awful, it's just meh. Number 4. Chestnut. I want to start this section off by making it abundantly clear that I really like Chespin. I think it's really cute, has a great design, is funny in the show, and is my favorite of the unevolved Kalos starters. I even have 3 Chespin plushies. See? Chespin is really awesome. But then it evolves and everything goes to Quilladin is one derpy looking dude, but not in a cute way. Its nose is way too big and it's just really rotund, but not in a way that works for it like Snorlax. It really just looks like Chespin just got really overweight and tried to cover it up with leaves but couldn't because he's just too fat. And Quilladin's eyes are also really off-putting. I can't put my finger on exactly why, but I just really don't like it when it looks at me. Chestnut isn't as ugly as Quilladin, but it's still not great. First off, its color scheme makes absolutely no sense. Why is it suddenly beige and white? Brown was working just fine before. Well, at least it was on Chespin. But even if we pretend that Chestnut's coloring is always its shiny coloring, which is far, far better, its design still isn't great. They thankfully got rid of the big nose, but they gave it a beard that I don't really understand. And the hunched over posture with the loosely attached shell just feels like a really awkward and tossed together design. Chespin's evolutions were just overall disappointing, since Chespin was so cute and had a lot of potential to turn into something like this. But instead we end up with a fat goblin and a winter Santa turtle. Number 3. Emboar. The first firefighting starter, Blaziken, was awesome and super badass. The second one, Infernape, was still pretty cool. It was a bit weird that they did it twice in a row, but they also did Pure Water twice in a row, so it wasn't a huge deal. But then this abomination was just the last goddamn straw. Emboar is the pinnacle of the firefighting starter hate. Not only was it the 3rd in a row, which is way too much, but it's just so freaking ugly. I mean, just look at it. The fire around the neck looks like they needed a way to make it more obviously fire type, so they just picked a body part and tossed it on there. And the fact that it stands on 2 legs is just so awkward. It looks like it could trip and fall in any minute. Plus, it seems like the only reason that it's bipedal is so that it could be fighting type. Tepig started out on 4 legs and was really cute. Why didn't they keep it that way? We could have had a really cool, tanky and beefy fire pig or warthog, but instead we end up with another fat middle evolution wearing... Is that a wrestling leotard? Everything about Emboar is just so wrong. Its typing, its posture, it's ugly, it sucks in battle, and not to mention that face. It looks like it's plotting how to sneak into your room at night and tickle your feet. Number 2, Empoleon. I know that a lot of you guys love this Pokemon, so like I said before, I am very sorry. But this thing is trash. Piplup is adorable, I will say. The writers of the show made a good call not evolving Dons in the anime, because it evolves into the hands-down, no contest, ugliest middle stage evolution starter in existence, and possibly one of the ugliest Pokemon of all time. I mean, just look at this atrocity. What happened to your face, man? And what's with those white dots on its belly? That's not cute. It looks like it was eating too many s'mores and spilled marshmallows on itself and forgot to clean them up later. And Empoleon is not much better. I really don't like it when Pokemon have the appearance of wearing clothes, so Empoleon being intentionally designed to look like it's wearing a suit is just so dumb to me. And that trident on its face looks awful as well, like someone just stuck it on there with super glue and hoped for the best. Plus the claws on its wings are just so unnecessary. What did you think you were going to accomplish with those? Carrying toothpicks? And what's with the steel typing? Water Steel is a cool type combination, but it's just not obvious enough on Empoleon. The only thing that I see that reminds me of the steel typing is the trident, which as I said before, looks stupid and it's just a f***ing decoration. Empoleon is easily the worst Sinnoh starter, and the fact that Torterra and Infernape can handle it with their ground and fighting moves respectively is just salt in the wound. Number 1. Delphox. Delphox. Delphox is the epitome of evolution disappointment. Chespin, Tepig, and Piplup experienced this as well, but Fennekin had it the most severely. My thought process went a little like this. Alright, that's the fire starter. Kinda cute. Not my favorite, but it's not bad. Kinda curious to see what it— Oh! What? What is that? Why is it on 2 legs? And what's with the stick coming out of its ass? That's just weird and— Oh dear God, what is that abomination? Delphox is actually trash. More so than Garbodor, and has gone down in history as the biggest starter disappointment to date. Its design is just so freaking bad. Like with Emboar, putting it on 2 legs feels awkward and unnecessary, and its appearance is just off-putting. I know they were going for the whole mage thing since Chestnut's the warrior and Greninja's the rogue, but this is just not how it should have been done. But the freaking hair! What on earth? What idiot thought it was a good idea to give a Pokemon so much ear hair that its wax could power every lamp in America prior to our switch to incandescent bulbs? It's just weird and gross. And like I said before, I don't like clothes on Pokemon. So Delphox wearing a tunic made entirely of hair is just incredibly dumb. Delphox is so bad that it's not even in Pokken Tournament and Braixen is instead. Even the people who make these games acknowledge that they f***ed up. The only redeeming quality about Delphox is that its name is kinda cool, but due to the fact that it's associated with such a garbage Pokemon makes the name lose all of its coolness. Delphox is hands down the worst starter Pokemon ever, and I hope it remains that way, because I desperately don't want to see worse. So there we have it. Those are the top 5 worst starter Pokemon. Again, I'm sorry if you like any of these Pokemon and if I've offended you, so here's a kitty this time. Aww. Doesn't that just make you want to forgive someone? What did you think of this video? Do you agree with my list? What are some other starter Pokemon you think are the worst? Let me know in the comments below! As long as it's not Sceptile, because I will cut you. And if you like this video, be sure to leave a like and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, you should definitely subscribe for regular and fun Pokemon content of all kinds. Alright, that's all I have for now, so until next time, Book of Hands. Gotta catch them all!